Anyone looking at anything, by the way? We can go over. Anyone got any questions before we It is Friday, so GBP USD. Okay, couple different viewpoints on GU. Yeah, not too much opportunity. And honestly, I kind of expected it this week. We had what's called elections. So what day was it? I think it was on Tuesday. It was election day. So like Monday night, I wasn't too keen on holding any trades. Wednesday, they, they released the results. Thursday, FOMC. So like, there's not much we can do, right? You can't. Sorry, one sec. You got to understand that we always talk about capital preservation is key, right? So have to be ready to sit on your hands on a week like this. I was honestly not too surprised. I knew it was gonna be a slower week. I'm not too bothered about taking trades on election day, right? It happens, or sorry, election week. It happens every 4 years, right? So it's gonna be a slow week. But we'll go over GU. So I do think GU will continue to the downside. Looking at this from a higher time frame perspective, we've gone long here, okay, to trap sellers, run liquidity, and then sold off again to the downside to induce sellers, and then we've went long once more, but leaving the low from the left-hand side. So I do think sells to the downside to target this low to the left is still on the cards. I won't be looking to take any trades up here at the extreme. Sorry guys, one sec. There's more people in the waiting room. I gotta allow in. There you go. I'm just not too keen on taking trades on pound right now. Taking the low out. So this is trade with retail. So like I told you guys before, if I am still liquidity wise, if I still want shorts to occur, I won't be looking for shorts at the extreme. I'll be looking for some sort of PA down here to tell me that we can go short. So maybe something along the lines of maybe we get something like this. Okay, so we run the build up, we have a liquidity block up here, and then a short continuation can happen here. Again, reason being is because since we've taken out previous low, gone long, I don't want to be trading from the extreme, okay? Because it's definitely possible that this could just be a false reaction and we can continue up. So I won't be trading from here. So it's hard to be taking trades on GU. EU is very similar at the moment. So same kind of idea. If you go in the lower time frames, you can see here we've trapped sellers. You can even see on the lower time frames, you run that. Here's a liquidity block. So maybe a little entry here yesterday, but other than that, it's just nothing I'm too worried about taking right now. EU, GU, same kind of thing. I'm just waiting. UJ, see how like all the US pairs were in this weird spots, right? So we've taken out this high again. I don't really want to be looking for buys right now. We could definitely respect this low and continue higher and just leave liquidity. So again, same thing like GU and EU, but just on the flip side, UJ, nothing I'm looking at. Pound yen, on the other hand, was nice earlier in the week. Again, unfortunately with election, it was hard to hold the trades or take the trades, but we'll cover them anyways. I do want to. Hey Marco, I'm back. Was a little busy. Hope you're doing great. Hey how's it going, brother? Good to see you. Okay, so we'll cover pound yen because this is actually really clean. Like I said, just timing wise, it was unfortunate with the election stuff, so I couldn't really take the trades or hold the trades, although it was really clean. So simple stuff. Nice buildup of liquidity on the way up here, right? Buyers getting in at these lows, and then we get a big sell off to the downside, sweeping out lows here, and then you can also see we've mitigated this liquidity block and moved away. And then just simply waiting for the current price action to build a setup for us. All right, and some clean PA we got here. Okay, build up, and then we get the trap here, taking out the buyers. Perfect. You can see up here, this is exactly what I want to see. We want to see price engineer liquidity to the upside. So now we have that reason to go long. Okay, so you can see we respected the high to the left, moved away. Perfect. Now we have an opportunity to buy into these highs. Okay, understanding that sellers have entered here. They're going to have liquidity resting above this high. So we simply target it. Simple stuff. So we take out liquidity to the left-hand side here. First entry was, if we go on the 1 hour, I'm pretty sure it looks the best. Would be off this area. Unfortunately, if I measure this, we're looking at about a 40 pip stop. So it's quite big to be taking an entry up just that size of a stop. You could have refined it down to like the extreme imbalance down here, which would have reduced it. Nonetheless, this would have been the first entry. Okay, if you're able to get in here, you would take the entry off this blue area, stop always below the liquidity block like we talked about. And then price goes up. We anticipate this to be a trap. Any reactions? Perfect. We get a false reaction here, then price runs back to the extreme to run the inducement low and goes long. So this could have been maybe second entry, but understanding that you need to cover, the low, the full liquidity box, so this whole low here. All right, so that would have been second. However, there was a very clean one on, I'm trying to remember. Here it was. Okay. Okay, so this was on Tuesday. What was Tuesday? Was Election Day Tuesday? Yeah. This is why I wasn't taking anything. But yeah, Election Day was on Tuesday. You can see we were building liquidity before taking out this high. We were building liquidity to the downside. Then we spike the high ever so slightly, causes a sell-off to the downside to grab internal. And then some textbook stuff here. Where did this low react from? You look to the left-hand side. Understand where the liquidity is. This is where the liquidity is going to be. And if you look right below, we have a liquidity block. So this right here was a pitch perfect entry. Stop below the liquidity block to the left and target the highs. Just like that. Okay. And you can actually even see that before we took out, before we arrived at our target, same thing happens again over here. Price builds liquidity in this area, okay, and then runs it. And what do we have right below? Liquidity block. So entry opportunity one would have been like we marked out the first time, like this. Again, stop below the liquidity block to the left. So cover that, target, and then number two could have been just like this. And then once that high is taken, sellers are now trapped. Okay, so stop looking for buys. All right. But yeah, these would have been the two entries. Even here, if you could have got this as well, this could have been one. Just like that. Okay, so there was multiple different opportunity on GJ, but other than that, nothing else really. But yeah, super clean, honestly. Looking back, it was just unfortunate with the timing and stuff. I couldn't really involve myself because election day, and I got stupidly. I posted in the Discord, but Sunday, Sunday night when the markets opened up, there was a gap. So we'll even take a look. Here, look at this. This is BS. So there's a 53 pip gap that opened up. And yeah, my position, thankfully I closed 50%, but I had a position here, and then obviously partial here. But yeah, I got slipped large. It was like 3% on slippage on a funded account too, which is not fun. But it is what it is. I mean, I had a couple options. So I was speaking to speaking to someone about this. I could have showed up Monday like complaining and been like, "Oh my God, I started the week 3% slipped." Like, not a good way to start the week, and it could have affected my Monday, right? It could have affected my trading day. But instead, you got to show up to the charts every single day, numb, right? Like every day's a new day. Never mind what happened the day before. Take it up with a grain of salt and move on, right? So like I'm talking about Sunday night, I could have been really upset, really pissed. But I just accepted it. It is what it is. I got slipped. It was out of my hands. Like it is shit, but again, it is what it is. And with that mindset, I came to the chart, and on Monday on gold, if I pull up, I took shorts in this area and made 5.5%. So I recovered the whole slippage and made a bunch of profit as well. So like the learning lesson with this is, again, I could have showed up Monday and been pissed off, upset, mad with myself that like, oh my God, maybe I shouldn't have held on the weekend, like with all these what ifs, right? But as we know, trading, you're never going to be perfect in trading. So you gotta stay numb, show up to the charts every single day with a clear mind, forget what's happened the day before. And yeah. But yeah, I gave myself a little pat on the back for that one, because old Marco would have been a little bit more upset at the fact that I got slipped 3% on something that wasn't even, like it wasn't even, it was out of my hands. But yeah, Marco, bro, I got one question. If we want a long EU and want to short G, what we do? So I talk about this sometimes. I stay away from correlating US pairs. You're just going to do your head in. Don't do that. Everything you need to know is on the chart in front of you. So what I mean by that is, take every chart. Yeah, like if I have all these pairs here, I open up one by one and I just break it down. Okay, I don't think like, okay, gold I want to go long, so euro I'm gonna kind of want to go long too, or pound I want to go short, so euro I'm gonna want to go short too. No, just take every chart for what it is. Okay, especially in times like this, there is no like direct correlation going on right now. So don't try and think like, okay, so you're saying you want to long EU and short GU. Just whatever chart looks the cleanest to you in the current moment, just trade that. Okay, try to stay away from correlating. It's just, you're going to be adding too much confusion. Less is more. Go over Monday's gold, of course. Yeah, we'll get to that. Anything else wanted to cover? Yeah, GJ was clean, right, guys? Look at this. Just from when you zoom out and look, really, really nice. Okay, up into here where sellers are trapped. Clean stuff. But yeah, that was it on GJ, NOS, and both indexes are sitting at the highs. I will not even pay attention to right now for a while. And yeah, pound, euro we spoke about. Gold, another one in like a weird spot right now after that big sell-off. So it could continue to go back long again. We've taken out this internal big sell-off to the downside, so this is just going to do sellers, but I'm just going to wait for more PA, right? If you look, I literally just look at the chart like this, right? If I remove any price action from the left-hand side and we only have this sell-off, like there's just no liquidity right now in this current PA. So when there's just no current price action, or sorry, liquidity in current price action, I can't really put my finger on where price is going to go, right? So I simply just wait for more data to get printed for me, and the more data I have in front of me, the easier it's going to be for me to pinpoint where price is going to be heading to next. Okay, and this is the hardest part for people. People don't like to wait. People don't like to be patient. And I get it. It's hard to stay patient sometimes because you feel like you're not progressing when you're not doing anything. But trust me when I say you are. Okay, learning how to sit on your hands, learning when to not trade is debatably the most important thing when it comes to trading. Okay, you could be the sickest analyst, the best entries, but when the conditions aren't great and you shouldn't be trading, you'll toss all those profits right out the window. Okay, so I'm just waiting. Maybe Monday or Tuesday things will look good again, but when we get big moves like this, it's just you gotta wait. It is what it is. But yeah, we can cover gold. Honestly, gold was, again, with elections, it's just so tough. But if there was no elections, gold was very, very clean. But yeah, of course, we can talk about it. Okay, so honestly, there was multiple opportunities to short. There was my shorts from Monday, which we'll talk about first. Actually, you don't have to use the replay. Okay, cool. Let me use the 5 first. All right, so I showed up to the chart Monday and I saw gold printed the low on Thursday. Okay, and then like look at this sluggish PA we've had on the way up, just building liquidity to the downside, then grabbing some internal to the left, which caused that sell off back down. Okay, and simple stuff here. I can see that we came back down to the low and didn't take the low, just respected it and moved away. Okay, so again, just like GJ, just on the flip side, now I have a reason to short. Okay, into these lows down here. And then we fast forward into New York session. This is when I started looking at gold. So just in here. Very rarely, but I was on the 1 minute for here. I'll tell you guys that. I did mark out on the forecast. I said, keep an eye on these highs to the left-hand side. Okay, I saw PA respected once here, twice. Okay, and even when we respected here, look how we had a little sell-off down here. Okay, trapping any buyers that were looking along this above this low. Now, understanding that this is going to be a trap. Okay, so there's going to be liquidity above that high. And look what price does. We run the high and it gives us a reaction to the downside, which was to be expected, right? Since there was liquidity above this high, that's why we had this little sell-off to the downside. But we're still yet to take the highs to the left. Okay, and why do I mark these highs? Simple stuff here. Moved away. Okay, so we just left liquidity. We've left some internal liquidity here. We have some imbalances above. So I just wanted to see price run these internal highs, and then start looking for some sort of entry to continue to this low down here. Okay, so honestly, quite simple stuff. But now, as for my entry, where am I? Here I am. Okay. I took a little scalp buy, and I showed you guys, I bought into the trap. So I saw we had this buildup of liquidity here. Okay, if I draw like this little channel, and this is right at New York Open, respecting this high to the left. Okay, why do we respect it? We've taken out this low, so we can anticipate this to be trap. Okay, also with that added confluence, we haven't taken the highs to the left yet. Okay, and then we get this false sell-off right at New York Open, so it's good timing. Clearing this internal point, which is trap buyers. Okay, I took my entry at the low, and you gotta be able to cover the liquidity block down here. Okay, so the ugly part about this is the RR wasn't too nice, but it is what it is. Ideally, like I tell you guys, I won't really take trades below 1 to 3. But it was super clean to me. The timing was really nice. I was confident in it. So I took this long. Also, to be honest with you guys, this was lower risk. I remember I was coming off the back of that friggin' slipped AU position. So I did have a little bit slight risk or lower risk on this position. But then when the shorts came about, this was a short. The shorts were pro bias. So I was a lot more confident in this. Target was hit up here. We get a sell off to the downside. Okay. Respecting this low to the left still. Okay. We respected it once. Remember this, the buy entry. So we respected it once, understanding that there's going to be liquidity below this low. So look how we react off this low to the left again. We go bullish, just this random bullish move to the upside, clearing internal. Okay. So now it's starting to make a little bit more sense. Since we've now cleared internal, this is now going to be known as trap down here. Okay. Because this induced buyers. So let me mark it with a red box. Okay, so that's going to be a trap. Cleared out this internal. And then we get a reaction down. And this is where I was analyzing PA. So you would have had to zoom in quite a bit. But we have price print this low here. And then we go long, print this high. And then you can see we go high, low, BOS here, leaving liquidity here. Okay, so I want to take a sell above here, and we have a liquidity block supporting the entry up here. So this was the entry. Stop loss, again, same thing all the time. We keep it above the liquidity block. Just like that. Oh, sorry. Down here. I showed you guys, though, in the... I mentioned in the Discord that I wanted to hold it down here. But I thought about it. I was like, okay, I just got slipped the night before. I was like, do I really want to hold? Let's say this position didn't, if it didn't come down to this low on Monday, then I would have had to hold the position into Tuesday, right? Through the market close. And with the knowledge of me getting slipped the night before, 40 pips, 30 pips, I was like, is it worth the risk to hold the position through market close? It wasn't, right? I didn't want to make the same mistake twice around election time. So I closed down here. Okay, once this low was taken out. This was it. Although obviously we ended up smashing full target, but like sometimes you just have to understand like and evaluate like the risk on hand, right? It was election time. Again, I didn't want to get slipped at market close, so closed over here and ended up making like 5.5% off gold. So again, recovered all that slippage and then made another 2.5 or 2 and change percent profit. So really clean. But yeah, the AU shit was annoying, but it is what it is now. Gold is providing more entries in Asia and London than New York. Yes and no. Yes and no. It is what it is. There's like, you have to understand, like, there's always going to be, okay, there's not one session that's better than the other. Overall, through my experience, New York is always going to be the better session. But that doesn't mean there's never going to be entries in London or in Asia, right? Of course there's going to be entries in London and Asia, but you just have to understand per plan, if there's going to be entries in London or Asia, then they're not entries for you, right? If it's per your plan, of course. There's a clean entry on EU on Wednesday for longs. Let's take a look. Oh, wait, actually, I wanted to cover one more short on gold. This was clean. Like, this is clean. Okay, so lows to the left-hand side. Really clean target, right? You can, however you want to draw it. You got trend line, retail liquidity, whatever it is. But lots of liquidity below this low, okay? And you can see how we've been ranging there, inducing buyers this whole time, right? So everybody's buying this support here, whatever it is. Lots of liquidity below this low. So mark with this low here, drag it over. Again, this was election time. Timing was tough as well, but nonetheless, clean as ever. Okay, take out the high from the left, which creates a liquidity block. Perfect. Now we need to see a buildup occur. And what happens here? Oh my God, looking back at this is so nice. Build up, okay? We get a false sell-off to the downside, grabbing these lows here, which induces sellers. This is going to be trap as well. So anywhere above here was a valid sell. Like this. And stop loss above liquidity block. And again, you could have just targeted this low would have been 1 to 7, and then the higher time frame to the left, 1 to 12, opportunity of 380 pips. Now, that's what I'm saying. Timing was tough, and this was also election time. So chart-wise, it was beautiful. Timing and the whole situation we're in with this week, it's just not a trade I'd be taking. But like nonetheless, this is pitch perfect stuff. Right? And you have to understand the key reason to this being so perfect is this. Okay? Because that builds liquidity for us here. And then once this high is taken out, we now understand that sellers are trapped and you have that liquidity block to support your sell entry. So sell there and boom, down we go. And I believe we take this out. Maybe a little scale in here. Possibly. But like I said, the timing wise is just tough. And yeah, like what a move, because this happened. How long did it take? Let's see, from entry to target. 4 hours, and it was almost 400 pips. Oh my God. Let's just say you have 3-4 lots running on this. This is like a 15K position in 4 or 5 hours. So tough, but nonetheless, it's still sick trade. What did someone said? There was a clean entry on EU Wednesday. Let's take a look. EU on Wednesday. What time? Ah, yeah, this was clean. Wow. Just like this, right? Yeah. And you have your liquidity block to support the entry. Yeah. Damn, really clean. What day was this? Wednesday? What was Wednesday? Wednesday was election day. So the results came out that day. Again, yeah, tough, but did it make sense? RR wise, let's see. Yeah, even to the highs. Yeah, this is clean, really clean. You take it to these internal highs to the left-hand side where we built liquidity at. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Can you look at the bot? Can you look at just before Asia on EU? Oh wait, sorry. One sec. Preet said, if there were no news or elections, do you usually take entries? Any entries I ever take in Asia, they are always going to be higher time frame based entries, and most of the time a limit. But that's not to say I always do that. Like I don't even remember the last time I've done it. But if I do take entries in Asia, I'm not on my chart like I am in New York on my computer. Most likely it'll just be a higher time frame entry, something that didn't happen yet in New York that continued into Asia. And if I do, it is usually a limit, and it's also not full risk. I will never full risk on an entry outside of New York. But that's it really. But like I said, I don't even remember the last time I've taken an entry in Asia. Yep, feels bad. Yes. Can you look at just before Asia on EU? Was it a valid inducement high entry? Are you talking about today? 3:15 New York time yesterday. Oh yeah, someone sent me this. And like I said, this is just up to you guys, right? If you guys want to take trades at this time, it's up to you. It's not wrong. We've taken all liquidity from the left-hand side. Induced sellers down here. And if you go to the 1 minute, we've had a nice build up as well. Right? Look how price has, respected this high to the left, moved away, even induced lower once more to induce sellers. This is going to be a trap. Okay? We got liquidity above here. So yes, this could have been an entry. But like I said, it's just going to be up to you guys at the end of the day. If you want to take trades at this time, I'm not too bothered to most of the time. But that would have been the entry for sure. And your stop would have to cover the high to the left. And possibly could target the lows. I'm not too sure. I don't really have much of a direction on EU right now, so I don't really even know where it can go right now. Other than maybe I posted a forecast most likely this low. But as for me taking entries right now, it's just nothing I'm going to be doing. But if I had to pinpoint, maybe we come back down to this low before going long. But yeah, that's it, really. Let's see. 4 hour did. Look how this 4 hour candle came up, swept these highs. This was in London. We had a liquidity block to the left. Trapping sellers, continuation to the downside. But other than that, nothing too clean. Euro, honestly, last friggin' 6 weeks. 5-6 weeks. Nothing pretty, unfortunately. Gold coming back down. Taking out this internal. Okay, look at this liquidity left to the downside. Most likely going to run back down here. And again, just like the euro and gold, we still haven't taken anything from the left-hand side. So this will probably be my next destination on gold, possibly. All right. But yeah, if you were to look for sells, again, same thing. We need to see, look at this buildup of liquidity we have. Okay. And then we trap higher, taking out this internal from the left. Let's see if there was anything at the top. I don't think there was, according to the 5 minute. Yeah, no entries on the confirmation side at least. Yeah, nothing too good. Directionally, it makes sense, but yeah, no entries right now. Man, oh my God, guys. I didn't mention yet. Last night I got home and I took my dog out at like 11. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I took him to the washroom once more before bed. And he saw a skunk. And you guys know the rest of the story. Chased it and the fucking skunk sprayed him right in the face. So I had to stay up last night till like 1:30, so that's why I probably look exhausted right now. And yeah, I was yelling at him, what is that? What do you mean? A skunk? This guy. Oh, that's true. Your English is not your first language. These friggin' ugly things, dude. This thing sprayed him in the face. And then oh my God, my dog got sprayed, and the skunk ran to like a bush, and my dog was like, he's like sneezing, he's like, I was like, oh my God, a fucking skunk sprayed him. So I grabbed his collar, dragged him to the front door, I had to tie him up, and then I had to Google like how to wash him properly, because you got to get like the oils off him. So yeah, I washed him like 3 times with like baking soda and. Yeah, apparently tomato soup is another option, but Dude, yeah, an hour and a half, 2 hours of watching this friggin' thing, and then I felt so bad because it was cold outside over here now. So I washed him, but he can't come inside yet. So I had to leave him outside. The poor dog's wet. It's cold. He was like shaking. So I had to grab like some dirty towels and wrap him around. Oh my, it was just a disaster last night. And then finally, when I washed him with the chemical stuff enough, I had to bring him into my house, washed him in the bathtub twice. Oh my God, I am going to bed so late because I had to friggin' wash this dog a million times. But yeah, the smell's gone. And blessing in disguise, he has a grooming appointment today, so they're cutting his hair down and washing him again. So thank God. You had to turn him into a pizza. Honestly, man, it was a disaster last night, and I was so mad because like it was 11 o'clock. I'm usually not even out at like 11 o'clock. I'm usually in bed at that time, and I was like, oh my God, now my whole night's cooked. Like I'm gonna have to stay up for another 2 hours and watch this guy. But yeah, and yeah, exactly. She's traumatized because the poor dog, he doesn't know. Like I'm washing him, I'm like waterboarding this guy, and he's probably like, "What the hell?" He's like, I'm never running away ever again. Like my owner's been waterboarding me for the last 2 hours. I've been spraying water in his face. But yeah, it was not fun. I highly don't recommend allowing your dog to get sprayed by a fucking skunk. Yeah, he was traumatized. Can I see long playing on gold? I am gonna lean towards shorts. I don't know. I like I said, I don't know though. We've Can we continue long? It's possible. We're just at a point right now, like I was talking about at the beginning of the webinar, like I don't got much PA with me right now, so I'm just gonna wait and see. If I had to pinpoint where it's going, I don't like how we've reacted off this low to the left and just moved away. So we built liquidity. So we could short back down there, but we've grabbed this and stuff. So it could go both ways for me right now. And when I can see price going both ways, I'd rather just sit out of the market and wait. But yeah, like I was talking about at the beginning of the webinar, I highly recommend guys like this little trick I was showing you. When I zoom in here, and all you see is this big sell-off, okay? And then just this PA. I don't know about you guys, but I don't see no liquidity right now. I don't see nothing, even if I go into the hourly, right? So I don't see nothing right now. I do want to see price develop more, build us more data, some more PA, and then I'll be able to pinpoint where I can head to. Can I check on EU? It took 1 hour. I would not. Are you talking Kingsley? Do you want to? Why you want it to go bullish or? Yeah, Preet, I get that for sure. Like that's why I went bullish for a little bit for sure to engineer liquidity at the low. That makes sense. But that's what I'm saying. It could definitely continue to the downside now. Some kind of bullish scalp. Uh, I don't. I recommend staying away right now. You can also tell like when PA is ugly. Look how we're continuously trading in between previous candle days previous days range essentially. So look how big sell off from the election, and we left the low and the high intact, and then yesterday the low and the high still intact. So that's why PA is kind of ugly too. We're continuously leaving highs and lows on both sides, right? So would I be more keen on seeing this? Like imagine we left this high, we come down here, respect this low, okay, and then come here and take out previous daily high. This could possibly be a short. But like I said, we're continuously just trading in between previous days and highs and lows. That's why the lower time frames look the way they look, ugly at the moment. But I do recommend staying out of longs on euro right now for sure. Especially because this was taken, right? So this could have been like we spoke about. I don't remember who told me, but There was a good long down here. That's right. Up into here, though. After this is taken out, it could continuously go short. So, yeah. Anyone else looking at any other pairs? I made myself a little crypto chart. I'm not trading crypto, but I wanted to see what could happen next couple months. This looks good. I drew this out the other day, and it's gone to the moon since. Left all this liquidity to the upside, taking out this low from the left-hand side. Why did I choose this low? Look. BOS, trap. So we wait for this low to get taken, and the low from the left. That gets stabbed to the T. Now wait for a confirmation-based entry. And we get a liquidity block created here. Okay, and then we get a build-up. This is going to be the entry right here. Okay, same shit. Happens on every single chart. But yeah, looks good. And it's flying right now. You had some of Cardano? Nice, dude. Yeah, it looks like a sick move. And look, if anyone's taking this, I mean, you got a 60% target. You throw 10K into this, you could make 6K. Right? And we're risking, let's see, from the entry, it's about 7% risk, 60% gain. So, pretty freaking good. Can you phone Trump, make it to $10? Oh. Imagine you were friends with, or you just knew like Elon somehow, and you knew when like Doge is gonna go crazy and shit. I was looking at Doge and like, what do you guys think? Could this be nice? So I'll have these internal points to the left hand side. Price came up, respected it, moved away. Okay, trap buyers here. Finally printed. Okay, so then we induced buyers here. We trapped them. And then we've gone bullish ever since. So now we want to wait for, again, build up to occur, which we've gotten. So price can make it down here. Maybe back up we go. Oops. Possible. We're trading Doge. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it just matters how much money's in the coin, right? And obviously with all the hype from Elon, there's been, I guess, how much, I don't even know how to read it. Like this down here, the volume and shit, I don't know. But nonetheless, it's moving, and it's moving volatile for sure. BTC, this thing's at all-time highs. I sent the chart, I believe, was it in the forecast or even just in general chat? After this low was taken out, this was nice. Look over here. Run of liquidity. And then we get buyers induced. Buyers trapped. Right? Anybody buying here? Yeah, that's another point, David. Extreme. And then anybody buying here, they get trapped. And then continuation back to the upside. Liquidity is liquidity, yes, sir. But yeah, I'm just eyeing crypto for fun. I mean, I don't have no money in crypto. I don't really actually ever have a plan of having money in crypto, for now at least, but we'll see. Slow way to end the week. Serious? Yeah, I mean, for now, like I said, you know what, to be honest with you as well, I'm just not really educated enough on it. So maybe I have to learn more about it in the future. But yeah. You guys looking at any other pairs? Let's take a look at the pair that slipped me last week. ran previous week's high. Ooh, this is nice. Right, look. We get build up to the downside, induce sellers. This is trap. And then we clear all the liquidity here. And now we're getting that move to the downside. So looks like AU is going to continue down. Where did this target this as our next target? Should put a bad taste in my mouth too, bro. Well, what do you, Elijah? What happened? Oh, you got slipped too. Yeah, fuck. Tell me about it. How much did you get slipped? How much percent? Was it bad? It's an annoying one, but I guess we could have. Yeah, daily lost me even though I took part. Oh fuck, that's tough, man. That is tough. And the shitty part is like you probably had it BE. You took partials, right? You did everything you're supposed to do, but and then it slipped you. It's out of your hands. I think the only thing we could have said to ourselves was Friday. We should have understood that this week was election week, and God knows what would have happened over the weekend. So it could have opened up with a gap. So, fuck yeah, I feel for you, but thankfully I took partials enough for me not to get the daily. It was on a funded too, so I would have lost one of my fundeds. But it was a 3% slippage on me, which is annoying, but I recovered it nicely. Let's take a look at. I've been looking at this pair sometimes. Oh, you know what I want to actually look at was the Dixie. What's it been doing with the elections and shit? Liquidity on both sides of the market. That's what we'd like to see. Most likely going to come back up to these highs now, but we'll see. What time is it? 10 o'clock. Is there a profitable way to scalp during these slower price action days? In slower price, like you gotta ask yourself. So I think that's the support resistance shares loving that PA. Yeah, you gotta ask yourself why. Why do you need a profitable way to scalp during slower price action days? Why not just wait for the better price action days to come along, right, and then continue trading the way you trade? So I think you're looking at the wrong perspective. That you need to find a way to trade during the slower price action days. It's not needed. So like me, for example, I'm just like, it's shit sometimes because like obviously you want to take trades and like progress and like make profits obviously and stuff, but at the same time you got to know when to not trade, right? Sooner rather than later as well. You got to learn how to sit on the hands, unfortunately. Anyone in any positions right now at all? I don't got nothing running. Yeah, nothing. Only ways to stay patient. I agree, man. And like these times right now, this is hands down the slowest time of the year for sure. Like October and November have been yeah, Dave, I see this. Just keep an eye on the time of day. It's already hour into or hour in London close. But yeah, October and November, well, November so far, it's only been 8 days, but October was hands down the slowest month of the year for me. I barely took any trades, but it is what it is sometimes, right? God knows like what can happen. Maybe December comes along and it's the best trading month of the year for me or ever. So you never know what trading has in stock for you. So you just have to take it as it is. Some weeks, some days will be slow, some weeks will be slow, some months will be slow. All I need is 2 to 3 good R trades per week. That's it. That's it. I tell you guys all the time, 1 to 3 trades per week, all you need. One trade. Like I was talking about the GJ trades here. Boom. That's all you need for the all you need for the week. Done. Like you have a 1 to 7. Let's say you close a little bit here, so it ends up being like instead of almost a 1 to 8, or sorry, 1 to 7. Let's say you bank like 5.5%. So let's say you even lost 2 trades, minus 2%, and then bagged 5.5. You're up 3.5% for the week. 3.5% on 100K, even just on a 100K account. You're up 3.5K. Tell me what other job is going to pay you 3.5K in a week of you just looking at a screen. That's what I'm saying. All it takes is one trade. And that's why patience is so important. You're going to thank yourself when you sit through shitty PA and you wait and you stay patient. And then a nice trade comes along and you smash it and you follow your plan, you follow your rules to a T. And everything works out, right? And the thing that'll feel better the most is, or the best is, you stayed patient and you sat on your hands through the shitty times and you waited for a setup to come along and then you smashed it. It's gonna feel 10 times better. 1 to 3 trades per week, all you need. I promise you. There's going to be weeks when there's a trade every single day, right? Then there's going to be weeks where there's no trades or just one trade. Is Euro still continuing? Yeah. Possible short on gold. Oh yeah, I think you're sorry. We just covered that. The domino effect caused by one bad decision in trading has been the greatest lesson I've learned to save yourself with the 2 steps forward. It's so true. That's a great point. The domino effect, man. People don't realize it, but like another thing I'll talk about is why higher time frame direction and bias is so important, because let's just say the direction is to the downside, but price gives you the most beautiful bullish entry, right? And you take the entry here, it goes long, and then you're stopped out. Why? Well, like what happens when this occurs is you're shooting your confidence, you're destroying your confidence, okay? Because if the direction is to the downside, but you continuously fight that, and the lower time frame looks so good, it does not matter how good the lower time frame looks. If the direction is not correct, it'll continue to disrespect your entry models, your lower time frame refinements over and over and over, and that's just going to ruin your confidence, okay? And then when the actual trade comes along, the proper trade comes along, your confidence is already destroyed. So like what Matteo mentioned, the domino effect, it's real, and it's so true. You got to think about it. Like, there's plenty of people that make money using this system and this strategy. Okay, and we have everything to show for it. But what's the difference between those people and the people that aren't making money yet is just the psychology side of things. Being able to stay patient in the shitty times and then taking advantage in the high probability times. Okay, capital preservation, right? Like it does not matter how good of an analyst you are in the high probability conditions, you make so much percent, but then when conditions go low, you just blow all your profits, you blow your account, right? You have no discipline to sit on your hands. Take a look at NOS. Higher time frame sells made no sense to sell, but I almost took the sell. But didn't want white contract. I just preached about it and then lose on live. Let's take a look at NOS. Okay, added confluence. You have 4-hour high taken. So maybe we come down from 4-hour low. Got to look and see where the liquidity is. Okay, so no entry to the left for me. You would have had to wait for. Not bad. Right? Lower time frame looks good, but like we just spoke about, it's not a trade I'd take because the higher time frame, it does not tell me anything right now, right? We're trading so high. There's no liquidity on the higher time frame right now. I don't know where it could be heading to at the moment. So sure, sometimes the lower time frames could look so good, pitch perfect. But if the higher time frame isn't in a line, the direction isn't correct, the bias isn't correct, and it does not matter how good the lower time frame looks. All right. Absolutely agree with the psychology part. Yeah, it is. It's so important for sure. Oh yeah, guys. Also, so we mentioned at the beginning of the week, me and Abbott are going to do hosting live calls on every single Monday. So every single Monday in New York, I'll be sending a link in the Discord. And yeah, we're just gonna trade live every single Monday, talk charts, mark up what the charts look up for the week, and yeah. So every single Monday, I'll be sending a link in Discord, and we'll hang out every Monday for about. Well, it all depends on conditions. For around what time? So just normal New York time. So in and around New York Open, and then depending on conditions, we'll shut the call down just accordingly whenever. I usually go gym around 11 o'clock, so probably around then. About 2-3 hours. No, 8 a.m. New York Open. So I don't know what time that is for you, but right now it is 10 a.m. So 2 hours before. Yeah, 9 p.m. for you, yeah. Slow end of the week. We'll see what next week looks like. I mean, yeah. We'll see. Remember this long, guys. Sick long on UJ. Talked about a bunch on the webinars, but low taken from the left, monthly low to monthly high. That was a nasty one. So now, on a monthly perspective, I forgot it's a new month, so actually I haven't even looked at the monthly chart, but November took October high. Okay. Got these lows left intact. If we could, let's see. If UJ can build liquidity at the low, and then maybe run this, create some sort of liquidity block, and then maybe get something like this. This could be a sell. Okay, here's buildup. Then we get the trap move, running the liquidity blocks to support our entry, and then you short into the engineered lows. But just an idea. We'll see. We'll see what occurs. It all depends what we do down at the low. So if we respect the low and move away, then it could work out. Yeah, it looks like gold is going to continue for the lows. Makes sense too on the obviously lower time frame perspective at least. But yeah. What's up, David? Isn't this the trap? Say again? Where? Higher time frame perspective. Remember, you have to always think about liquidity. So when we took out these lows, for sure, that caused a long, right? And then ask yourself, where's the liquidity going to be next? So look how we get a build up here, okay? And then exactly, liquidity here, okay? Overall, in the higher time frames, most likely going to continue bearish. So we had build up, we had trap move up to clear the liquidity, and now we're getting that continuation to the downside. So don't forget, higher time frame always holds more weight. Always, always, always. Down here, we've left this liquidity. Could be hunting for that. No worries, no worries. But yeah, if we can get like something clean maybe on Monday on gold, who knows? Maybe we can get something like this. And then this is going to be an area to look for sells from, right? Because if we come up here, respect it, move away, then we could take that liquidity block and then that continuation down to target these lows and then this low from the left. Again, it all depends what kind of price action we get, where we build liquidity at and stuff. So again, just an idea, but we'll see. I just need more PA after this friggin' election move, right? If you look at this thing from the entry to the lowest it went, look at that. Oh my God. What is that? A thousand pips. Oh my God. Even if you had one lot, like what is one lot? $10,000 on a move like this. 10K. Mental. Naeem, you were in that whole move? Oh, in my dreams. Yeah, this guy's funny. This guy's funny. Kind of curious, is that Trump win good for everyone? I'm not gonna get political on here, but I have no idea, man. I think they're all the friggin' same at the end of the day. But all I know is I didn't want that woman Kamala Harris in office. I think she's a joke. So I was rooting for anyone but Kamala Harris. But honestly, I've never really dug into politics, so I can't really tell you what Trump's done in office before. I don't know what he's going to do this time. So all I know is last time Trump was in office, the markets were apparently insane. I was only trading for I wasn't even trading. I was learning at the time. But I did remember every time he tweeted and stuff like that, the markets would go insane. So maybe it'll make it a little more fun for us. We'll see. Good. He built liquidity. He built liquidity for us exactly. Nice guy, bro. When did you start? When I started, like when I found out about trading, this was um I was working full time. I believe it was like 2019. Um, and that's when I started like learning on my own time. But this was like I spent years, years actually. I don't know, maybe 2 years, 2.5 years trading and learning about retail concepts like support and resistance and Fibonacci and stuff like that. So unfortunately, I wasted a little bit of time um, on some concepts that were not really good, to say the least. But yeah, I think 2019, end of 2019, 2020. I believe when COVID was happening. I don't even know the exact day. I got to go back into my phone and figure out when exactly. But I remember the first place I bought a course from was, I think it was called the Trade Academy. I don't even know if you guys have heard about it, but there was this guy, he called himself Nick Legend. And that was a red flag right there. And obviously, this stupid person I was, this guy's name was Nick Legend. I know him, yeah. Bro. I bought courses from him and then extra like stuff. And these guys were oh my god, they're all scammers. None of them actually traded. But when I was so new to this, like this is how these people scam these guys. It's like you just don't know. I saw you because of algo concept. Algo concept. What is that? Like Yusuf. I don't know who this is. I'm not sure. I don't know Yusuf. But yeah, Trade Academy. That was the first place I bought a course. That was selling. No, honestly, bro, I never really have. I remember I watched. What year did he put his like for his content on YouTube? Was it 2021 mentorship or what do you call it? It was some sort of mentorship, and then he posted a bunch of videos. I remember I watched the very first one, and that's it. But no, I never really looked into ICT. Just stuff I've seen on like on socials and stuff, but I've never really looked into. Um, I never really looked into his stuff. I'm not a fan of ICT. That guy is, from what I've seen, man, like holy shit, like a 50-year-old child, consistently arguing, complaining with people on Twitter. This guy says that I just seen this the other day too. Let me see if I can pull this tweet up, guys. I hopefully he didn't delete it. One second. Fuck, he tweets way too much. Fuck, 1 second. Damn it, I think he removed the tweet. Uh, he said something about like uh people are after him like he knows the algo and like I don't know, it's the most this guy is just he's a marketing genius though. From what I can see. People love it. Like apparently there was this thing about his logo and how the algorithm was within his logo. Like, come on. I started with Swaggy. Loki, his free YouTube content was dope. Yeah, I've never really looked into Swaggy. I don't know much about him, so I won't really speak on him. But yeah, I don't know too much about him. All bark, no bite. Yeah, like he's one guy. If I saw him personally, I want to slap him. He's just. Why are you a fully grown man with children on Twitter arguing with children on a daily basis? Like, if you have this much money, just shut up and walk away. Who cares? I started with Astro. Oh my God, Astro. That's another one. I didn't get to that yet. Astro, I was when was that? That was right before I met Riz. So I met Riz because of Astro. But yeah, went to Astro, bought a course with them. I think yeah, Astro 2.0 or something. And then they dropped that friggin' program. What was it? Accelerated? Astro Accelerated. Oh my God. I gave them $5,000 for a 25K account with like negative leverage on it. So you couldn't even, I think I couldn't even place one lot on it as an entry. I think the most I could trade was like 0.75. But yeah, massive scam. Fuck those guys. Fuck those guys. That's another guy. What's his name? Sean, not Sean. What's the other guy's name? Oh my God, I can't remember. Amon. Yeah, I want to slap him in the face too, just like ICT. But him a lot harder. Amon, yeah. But when was your aha moment? I don't really know if I have a direct moment, but I started making money uh, consistently. This was 2 years ago. But I guess you can say my aha moment when I just started doing like focusing solely on liquidity. Like what really annoyed me about with smart money was there was no consistency. Like it worked for a little bit, but then there'd be a long period where it did not work anymore. Like the whole system would just be not working at all, right? So then you have to understand why was it working for a little bit, because like we know with liquidity, you have to understand something. These retail strategies like smart money, support resistance, all these things, they have to work sometimes to a certain extent. And why? You have to ask yourself why. It's because if it works a little bit, then people will always be convinced to use the systems over and over and over, right? If they didn't work at all, then people wouldn't use them. But they have to work a little bit, right? If they work a little bit, then the market will use it to engineer liquidity in the market, okay? And then disrespect essentially the strategies over and over. So like that's why people ask like, well, sometimes smart money works, but you have to understand why it works. It works a little bit so retail can use these strategies, right? And then it'll be used as a form of liquidity. Yeah, the other time it worked, the other time it was garbage. Yeah. If those don't work, we broke. Yeah, retail strategies have to work to a certain degree. Yeah. That's why sometimes when the market's building liquidity, right, and we don't have trades, it's because simply the market's building liquidity. You don't want to be a part of that. Okay, we take advantage of after the fact. But I guess I would say my aha, I guess if you want to call it that, my moment was when I started focusing on liquidity and building my own system and stuff. Man, that was like months, 6 months or something. I was just on the chart every single day, Monday through Friday, 12-hour days, and I just track live price. And through this time too, I was waking up every single day, 4 a.m. Eastern, going to bed like 8 p.m. And I'd get on an hour after London Open, and I'd track all of London Open's price, or all the rest of London, and then I'd hop on for New York and track all of New York as well, and then review the whole day in the afternoon, and just study. Those were the grinding days. I didn't see the sunlight, I swear. Yes, I was in plumbing. So thankfully I had the option to I left the company I was with, but I could work like part time and do jobs here and there. But yeah, how did you start building a strong bias? What do you mean, Kingsley? How did you start building a strong bias? Before trading, when you hop on the chart, how do you build a strong bias? So just how do I answer this in a experience? Yeah, experience is a good way to put it. But no, okay. When I hop on the chart, there's always a certain kind of routine, I guess you could say. I clean my chart always when I hop on in the mornings before New York. I look at what Asia did, I look at what London did, and I just want to predict and see what can New York do. Okay, is there liquidity in the market currently for me? What did the previous day do? Okay, so for example, big move on Wednesday, which tells me Thursday is probably going to be ugly, and that's why I didn't trade Thursday. So, if there's a big move in the market that happens the day before, I'm most likely not going to be participating the day after. Um, I take a look and see where previous daily highs and lows are, right? If there's going to be a continuation opportunity, if there's a reversal, all these things, right? But essentially, it always comes down to liquidity. Where is liquidity? Okay. But Mateo makes a good point. Experience. I feel like now that like once you put so much time into the charts, and it's hard to explain. I think I mentioned it on a recent webinar or case study or something. But I feel like you build this like intuition once you have so much experience. You just hop on, um, and sometimes you just know you just have a great good idea of where it's heading to next. Obviously with the system, but yeah, bro, gold longs down here. Is that where you're talking about, pre down here? Yeah, we missed it. Yeah, you can say we missed it, but I'm not bothered. It's nothing. It's nothing for me right now. Yeah, we got liquidity at the lows for sure. Remember, pre what we talked about the lower time frame can look so good sometimes, but the higher time frame holds the most weight. Don't forget. Look at gold ends up 142. I didn't really pinpoint this, but we've left some internal on the left hand side, and we grab all that, and now we're starting to see that bearish move down. What I would like to see, if we were to continue bearish, same thing. Like we respect this high here, we move away, you could short that. But as for now, like most likely we'll just continue down, but we'll see. I don't really have a bias, so when I don't have a bias, I don't like to try and pinpoint where it's going because there's just no point for me. You'll just do your head, and if you don't have a higher time frame bias, you're looking at the chart on the lower time frames, and the whole time you'd be like, oh, okay, maybe it's gonna go long. Oh, maybe it's gonna go short. Maybe it's gonna go long, and you're just gonna go in this little circle, opposed to just having a bias from the higher time frame and sticking to that and letting the lower time frame essentially just align with it. Everybody say hi to Abid. He chose to join us. What a nice guy. He won't even unmute his mic to talk to us.
My fault, my fault. How's everyone doing?
Staying away when there's liquidity on both sides of the market? Yes, sir. I'm good, Abbott. Thanks for asking, man. I appreciate you.
Bro, I already talked to you about it.
Speak, Abbott. Yeah, speak. Abbott, can you tell us how to make $100,000 in 1 week?
Damn, I even.
Because I haven't done that.
1 week is crazy.
What?
100K in 1 week is crazy.
I know. That's why I'm asking you, man. So you can preach to us. Ears open. See, Kingsley wants to know as well.
Just more capital means you can risk more, and then you just have to risk more. That's about it.
It's not. Don't listen to him. I agree. I agree with Preet. I agree with Preet. Just go for market.
Oh, God. No, but on a real note, the more capital you have, right, the more you can actually risk. Like 1% of 100K is only 1K, but 1% of 400K is 4K. You feel me? So at the end of the day, it just depends on the capital you have, and yeah, pretty much discipline too, and you just have to not care about losses.
Big one.
You
Not
take
careful
losses.
losses. Don't attach yourself to losses.
Yeah, pretty much.
It all comes with time too. Because I remember Abid was never. He didn't just wake up one day and start risking 5K on a trade. Like I remember before, like he was risking just like what some of you guys do, even what I do. Like I'm comfortable doing 1K, sometimes 1.5K per trade risk, but like even for me, I never started there. So you got to build your risk tolerance, and it's gonna take time. You can only do that
Not
through
even when I
experience.
started. Remember when I started, I had a 200K account, I was risking $250.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Everyone, you start somewhere, and like I always use this analogy. Like if you go to the gym, you're not just gonna go to the gym and pick up 100 pound dumbbells, right? You gotta work your way up to these levels, like a ladder almost, right? So you start low and you work your way up. You definitely don't want to stay stagnant, right? You always want to challenge yourself in some way, but stay comfortable at the same time. So like you kind of want to find this middle point where you don't want to be in a trade and like you're biting your nails, you feel like it's life or death because right away you're pushing your risk tolerance too much. You want to almost you want to have that I don't care feeling. So like if I enter a trade now and I'm risking $1,000, like it's not the end of the world if the trade goes wrong or it goes against me and I lose $1,000. Like it doesn't matter. But if I was to enter trade and I'm risking like 3-4K, I'm definitely going to feel a little more emotional. Okay, because I'm kind of pushing my risk tolerance. So you got to work your way up slowly but surely. Good advice. How did you get rid of all those emotions? Honestly, it's experience. It's all it is experience. And everybody's different as well. I mean, you hear that a lot, but it's true. Everybody's different when it comes to things. Like Abid was definitely able to progress a lot faster than I was through risk tolerance. Like he's just a robot when it comes to with with emotions and money. So, but everybody's different. Will you still risk 1% when your capital's so big? Um, I could probably speak on this more than me, but I feel like once you have a big like personal account, for me at least, I think all you need to do is like you just risk a certain amount that you're comfortable with. You kind of take the percentages out of the game. So like let's just say you have 200K in a personal account and you're comfortable just risking 5K per trade. You're not looking at that as a how much is that per risk? 2.5% per trade. You're just looking at it as like I'm comfortable losing 5K in a trade. So if I lose 5K, it's whatever. Kind of look at it from like a fixed number perspective. Sounds like a gambling addiction. After I
I
blew a
think that
handful
works
of
best. I think that works best on personal accounts though.
for
Like,
sure, I agree.
say you risk like a certain percentage base, it's a lot easier on your head and everything. But then personal accounts, you don't like. There's no drawdown rules, none of that. I mean, you could give yourself drawdown rules, but um, there's no
You
like
don't
part.
have outside, yeah, you don't have outside rules to worry about for sure, For sure, for sure. Look at Elijah said, after I blew a handful of accounts, that shit don't hurt me no more. 100%. You guys ever see those memes or on Instagram or Twitter? Like, if a guy has these apps, MetaTrader, TradingView, all these things, like, you can't break his heart. The charts have broken his heart enough. Okay, guys, I'm gonna wrap up here. I gotta go gym, and then take my dog to the friggin' groomers because a skunk sprayed him. So I gotta get crunched for time right now. But let's sign off here for the week. GJ, look at GJ. Could go long a bit, maybe up to this high. We'll see. But yeah, guys. Okay, so like we were talking about on the beginning of the call, Monday will be our live call day. So we'll see you guys back in here Monday, and we'll sit through New York together, look at some charts live, all the good stuff. So, but yeah, hope you guys have a good weekend, and yeah, we'll see you for the first live call on Monday with me and Abid. All right. Good week, everyone. Take it easy. I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend. All right. Ciao, ciao, ciao.